Looks like everything's coming up roses, so might as well begin. Alright. Hello everybody, my name is Romeomoon Burke, and are you ready to see something different for today? I'm going to be trying out a game that I've wanted to try for a long time, Torment Tides of Numenera. Finally sitting down to actually play it. It's an RPG that is kind of, I've heard described as kind of a melding of a visual novel and like a regular, like a classic RPG, almost Baldur's Gate type deal, based on a D&D campaign kind of setting. The Planescape, I believe Numenera? Could be two different settings. I don't know much about D&D, I'm sorry. So, apologies for butchering any of that information. But it is written, the setting is written by Monty Cook, which we've had at GeekCon before. I'm pretty sure we've had at GeekCon. And yeah, it just seems really interesting. I'm someone who enjoys kind of reading a lot into the games. Combat is always kind of fun, but at the same time, I do feel the need to have decent characters and writing to really kind of help prop up a game. Planescape Torment by Matt. Matt Winchell is watching, so he's going to help, I think, contribute to the conversation here, hopefully. He'll know more about it because he played, I believe he played the original game, Planescape Torment. This is a spiritual successor, not exactly the same, you know, kind of follow-up idea, but very much wanting to recapture some of that flame that was started in the original game, Planescape Numenera from 1999. Hi, Vixie! I'm just kind of rambling on because I'm always nervous when I try out a new game, especially since I've never fired this one up before, so I don't know what to expect, really. Well, kind of a little bit what to expect. It was according to Matt Winchell, and I've read this too, it was an indie-funded game, one of the highest paid Kickstarter campaigns. Let's go, Femia. Your mind wakes in darkness. Oh.
Aching cold sets into an unfamiliar body. A distant howling surrounds you, louder with each passing second. Insistent and invisible hands slap and tear at the membrane that protects you.
Alright, so just to continue what Matt was saying, they did start a Kickstarter campaign. It was very successful, but they couldn't get the rights to the Planescape name, but they were able to use Torment. So, Matt is in creeper mode.
Your first emotion is an involuntary and formless panic. You feel you have forgotten something important. As if it once meant the world to you, but the details slip away as you grasp at them.
Alright, can you guys hear everything okay?
You force your eyes open.
I'm gonna look at this body. Apparently I'm in a body now.
The body is... wait, you are wearing a form-fitting suit of some dark material. You recall that you were wearing something much more elaborate a short time ago. You have smooth, light brown skin, 5 fingers on each hand, 5 toes on each foot. Good muscles, strong but not bulky, and slim hips. Your palms are soft, as if they have not done much labor, but scars and burns on the hands and wrists suggest that you haven't always been careful. Why can't you remember this?
Thanks, Vixie. Apparently everyone can hear everything nicely.
Without warning, the cocoon that surrounds you shreds and tears away. You are falling. Above you, a small moon is slowly collapsing in on itself. The world is many kilometers below you.
I'm going to flatten out to catch
Instinctively, you spread your arms and legs, and they respond sluggishly. You stop tumbling head over heels. Though you are still spinning laterally, that motion has calmed as well, and you have space to assess your situation, and perhaps to understand the predicament and the body in which you find yourself.
I almost forgot to send my tweet. Did I? Nope, I did send it. Sweet. Vixie is like, I want childbearing hips.
massive ocean dominates the rest of the visible globe, dotted here and there with island chains. Small moons, unusual structures, and strange machines rush past you in glittering profusion as you plummet toward the ground.
I'm gonna try and remember what
It's
happened.
hazy. You were in a tall passageway, its sides slicked with dew, the air warm and moist, as if you were caught in the breath of a giant organism. You remember fleeing in fear and exhilaration, laughing through the terror. What was it that pursued you? Something ancient and cold, its coiling power the promise of oblivion. Its shadowed tendrils struck at you, and the walls where they landed were torn apart utterly, destroyed beyond any hope of repair. You leapt into a membranous cocoon and fell from the station, the moon. And then you were empty. But who were you? What was that creature? A word surfaces in your thoughts, and you seize it before it vanishes. Sorrow. The world fills your sight. You're about to hit.
Alright, so before we hit the floor and possibly crush them... I am the whale in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, apparently. I'm falling from a very tall height, according to Matt. But you should also kind of mention, I'm going to go ahead and spoil this, so if you don't want to hear this, maybe take your headphones off or turn off your speakers for a second. But you are basically the husk of someone who is kind of a godlike being, and you've essentially been shed. This godlike being is not necessarily the greatest person in the world and gets caught doing like a lot of terrible things like destroying civilizations, and of course is being hunted by various people looking for justice. And so to escape, he or she usually sheds its mortal coil and moves on to a different mortal coil. The thing is that these husks tend to come back to life with their own consciousness and have no idea what happened, or where they came from, or what they're doing, like what's happening here. So, okay, spoilers done. If you want to put your headphones back on. Oh shoot, you can't hear that, so sorry. The sorrow, try to stop the fall one last time. Give up and dive? Let's give up and dive.
Horrifyingly quickly, you see a pair of figures standing near a small glassy dome. You're headed straight for it. One of them looks up, points at you, and you feel your speed slow tremendously. But you are still traveling too fast, and both the figures leap aside as you crash into the crystalline structure with a profound and horrific crunch, pain radiating through every part of your body. And then...
Okay, so our swan dive didn't quite work that well. I'm trying to move. I'm pressing wizard. Everything's black. What do I do? It says move. I'm pressing. Is my controller not connected? Alright, reconnecting controller. So dark out. Drag? No, not dragging. Bring the mouse left again, it's like a MOBA. You're trying to move where you're pointing. You have to move left again. Left, left, okay. Okay, maybe this way? Dragging it left? Maybe I'm not doing it right. That should work, right? Am I doing it? I need to center again. You've lost where you were, I think. You need to center again. Drag it right. I think I see stuff moving. Oh god. Like, it's so dark. Not left click and drag, just utterly move your mouse to the left. Oh! The way you move is not dragging. You move the cursor and simply by pointing. So clicking here will only try to walk to the dark area. Alright, so I've got this. The cursor's all the way over to the left. So frustrating. All of a sudden. No. Move to an edge. Drags the map in that direction. Okay. Well, Matt, if you want to get on Discord and walk me through this, because I cannot find where I'm supposed to go now. It was in the old D&D and Fallout games. Oh. There was something that flickered. I saw something. Is there a map? There is no map. Dark Fathom. I cannot see a thing. Can I go back up to the cast off? Pointing action, okay. And I can't get my way back over to my body where I was. It feels like it wants me to just go left, but it's just... And it's got like the clicking is highlighted too. Okay, someone got a berry token. Is there a way to go back to my body? Center the camera back onto my body. I have to find, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I have to find the visible area again. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read the control. I thought I had this all setup. So highlight, pause, pan left. That's the arrow. Pan up. Zoom in, zoom out. That might be how I have to do. It's just array map is M, so we found that. Alright, so I'll try these arrow options, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna try using the arrow. I've been using Wazad, and that doesn't seem to do too much. So, and also probably zoom out, pan out, or zoom out. Gonna go to delete and just save it here. Return to game. Alright, so let's see here if we can... Ooh, there was something over there. I keep seeing stuff like kind of... It's so dark. I'm trying to hit delete so I can zoom out and maybe finally eventually come up to that lighted area I was in. Oh, there it is! Ha! Found it! Oh, man. There we go. Whew! Oh my god. I had apparently zoomed off into the middle of nowhere. Metal waves roll around the floor below, sending vibrations through the soles of your boots.
I'm going.
Oh yeah, don't be so pushy, jeez.
I'm going.
Alright, finally. We've done a thing. Now don't touch any edges. Alright, so jumbled thoughts cloud your head as you study the empty bowl before you. Drops of liquid fall from the ceiling, spattering on the ground next to the bowl. The light from every drop is reflected in the bowl's round hollow, as if it hungers for that light and needs to be filled. Yet the bowl remains dry. Another drop from the ceiling and splashes across the pylons, wasted. Might carefully move the bowl beneath the liquid. 3 stat pools. Might, speed, and intellect that you can spend to increase your chances of success. This is called effort. Let's make an effort. To more easily move the bowl in front of you, use left mouse click to spend might for higher level of effort. Don't worry if you fail a task. In Torment, failure often results in interesting outcomes. Ah. Oh, failure. The edges of the bow tear at your flesh as you seize it. You grit the pain, though. You grit through the pain, though, hauling the bowl over to the glowing pool of fallen light. Continue. Well, we've managed to injure ourselves. Alright, blood trails from your fingers into the hungry depths of the bowl. Drop by drop it fills. Your blood mixes with the light until the air itself takes on strange reddish hue. Ripples spread over the blurred outline of your reflection. Alright, so we've got cast off. We've got intellect here, speed, might, and then the health down here. And I don't know. That's probably the XP. Character abilities, active abilities granted by the character's type of focus. Ciphers, consumables, and abilities granted by equipped items. Okay. A sanguine radiance spills across the segmented floor, washing away the nearest shadows and pouring into your mind, melting the ragged edges of your fragmented thoughts. You are not whole, not yet, but you have begun to heal from the damage done in your long fall. A voice calls out from somewhere high above, beyond the reaches of the spreading light. Hello, are you still alive down there? We're up here. Build a path up to us and be careful. Alright, so I see what Vixie was talking about. Don't, just shoot off in every direction whatsoever. So, let's come.
Yes.
You betcha. Wait, should we do something with this? Is this is not anything we can do anymore, huh? I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the bowl alone. Maybe someone come back and find my blood in it.
Let's go.
As soon as you touch the orb, a memory floods your mind. You stand in front of the rusted door. The air is humid and dank. You've had a moment's respite from this water-logged hell. A bubble of stale air, your resting point. You've breathed water before. You've lived decades beneath the waves. But this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so subtly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from the task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as well you know, but now he seems distracted. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennas. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention, but that is hardly your concern. This mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. Deceive him by telling him that you've heard sounds of pursuit. Threaten him until he returns to the task at hand. This is taking too long. Cast a spell and esotery to fix the device yourself. Alright. You mumble a few words, drawing power from the air around you until a solution appears in your mind. You snatch the device from his hands, rewire it, and shove it back at him. Oh, he's examining your work. Sorry, I was trying to improve the thing. He waves the device at the door, and the stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links to the water-bordered cells in the aquatic areas, or viewing areas. What you seek lies there. Yeah, so I wonder if that was the right one? I don't know. Kind of interesting. I like this. Moments later, you're underwater again, your hands closing around a strange yet familiar artifact. You need to complete something. It hovers above a pedestal, rotating in the dark water. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane of the pedestal, and an iridescent field coalesces so fast that the wave of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Run, you can come back for it. Alright. Use the device to stop them. And come back for it. They won't be able to protect it forever. Disable the sonar pulse. I'm gonna turn off the alarm, jeez. You focus on the cloudy base of the pedestal. Your fingers instinctively find the control panel for the jeweled force field, almost as if you had built it in the first place. You remove it, casting it to the side. You reach inside to deactivate the crystals that power both the pulse and the pedestal. As you remove them, a scaly hand falls on your shoulder. Your head whips up, and you see only the inky blackness of a Piscine eye. The memory begins to fade as if you were being drawn backward through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something is wrong. The events within the orb have settled into the gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. There's something else, a gust of sour air pulling at you, like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. Sweet, so we're slowly gathering memories here. Alright, now let me move. Can I use weapon? No, okay, so that's... It is literally just click to go. Alright. I'm so used to using WASD. It feels so strange not to do this here. Alright! Touch this orb now. You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Beneath the two of you is a broad plateau towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines have been built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. A metallic disc gleams from the center of the plateau. Your self-aware humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliffs below. If you were looking for sanctuary, and you were, desperately, it seems like the right place. I need a cup of water. Water! I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat, neutral. Her face is turned away from you. What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we found? Draw her attention to the hidden details that your more experienced eye can clearly see. Use your charm to persuade her of the merits of the site and to remind her of the time constraints. Convince her with the wisdom of your superior intellect. I'm going to point out some of the details. You shade your eyes against the bright sun so that you can point out the thin bands radiating out from the metallic disc, how the energy from those bands affects the local fauna, suggesting an enormous source of prior world energy. She thinks deeply. It's geologically sound? Have you run the sounding samples and checked the strata? No major caverns or weaknesses showed up on your resonance scans? She waits for your affirmation and says, "All right, I'm convinced." The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend onto the plateau to examine the open ground. Okay. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its task, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder to reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps you rise, laughter in her eyes. It seems your construct has other ideas. What's the matter with it? Use the Numenera integrated into the construct's body to overwhelm the behavior malfunction. Examine the construct for mechanical faults. Look for a deeper solution. Perhaps it's an effect of the metallic disc itself. There might be something weird going on. A mist falls onto the plateau as you wrap a fiber shielding mesh around the construct's skull. The mesh powers up, protecting the construct's mind from any transdimensional emissions that might be in the area. Taking a deep breath, you repeat your command. Acknowledged, it obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. The image freezes, then fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind, blocks by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your hand, reclaiming your memory's hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hairs lift, one by one, on the back of your neck. Something beyond the room can sense what you are doing and is hunting you. There's something weird going on here.
All right.
Another memory. A vision of a city springs up around you. Your city in flames and under attack. Her defenders have fought and died all day, and still the attackers keep coming. They fight as if your destruction were demanded of them. They care nothing for mercy, surrender, or plunder. What they want is blood. But you have brought a keen-eyed companion to the top of the tower. She has seen the way to stop the invaders. You need to get her to safety, and you need to rally your defenders. But even as you turn toward the door of the tower, two of the attackers descend from a hovering machine. You don't have time to strike at them before they land. One is brutishly large. His weapon is vibrating axe. The other is slim, sheathed in glassy armor, and holding a hilt with sizzling invisible blade. Your companion backs away. She's too young to help. Your enemies advance single file, confined by the parapet. I've got a kitty up my leg. Hi, Squeaker. Little buckaball. Alright, trade blows with the giant. You can handle it for at least a strike or two. Duck under the giant's swing and attack before he can strike. Fight defensively and figure out who presents the greater threat. Well, they're pretty much all stuck. And Matt is eating. Alright, so, that means we might be stuck too. I'll duck under the giant's swing. You roll under the blurring arc of his axe. He's overconfident, testing you without committing to the attack. Yes, he's fast, but not as fast as you are. And when he raises the great axe above his head to finish you, you're able to bury your blade under his breastplate. The blade emerges from the back of his neck, and his life's blood washes over your hands. He falls, taking your weapon with him, and his companion attacks. Oh, crap. Her invisible blade is far more lethal than the giant's axe. You duck as she thrusts at you, and the wall behind you hisses, destroyed. Her return swing cuts through your armor, ruining your breastplate. She doesn't have to be skilled with a weapon like this. She just has to make contact. You time your attack just as she pulls it back for another strike. You barrel into her, driving her over the wall, and she drops screaming to the ground, 50 meters below. Cold cut turkey on a butt with sauce and cheese? Turkey in a bun. Matt mistyped bun, and it came out his butt. The immediate threat ended. You focus on finding a way back to your allies. You open the tower door and rush down the stairs. The door at the base of the stairs is slightly cracked, opening just a bit into the hall, and you hear more of the enemy soldiers beyond. Hurl yourself beyond against the door and knock them to the ground. Crack the door open, sneak past them, charge through them, counting on your defenses to protect you. I hurt myself against the door. Let's live dangerously. You charge through the dim shadows, dropping your shoulder into the door. At the last minute, it bursts open. Halfway through its arc, it crashes into the pair of enemy soldiers, scattering them. You race through the door, blade in hand, and you dispatch your stunned foes before they have a chance to move. Their blood begins to pool in the hallway. I'm imagining this happening in Dragon Age Origins. The memory begins to fade, and you find yourself back in your own body. Your temples throb with the racing force of your heartbeat, and the reclaimed memories blaze within you like a bonfire on a mountain peak, visible to every predator for kilometers around. A tremor rocks the floor beneath you, as though a massive fist has struck the room itself. Swaying on your feet, you feel you see frantic movement within the borders of a mirror at the edge of the room. Continue. Are we back by the blood bowl? The border of the mirror is lavishly decorated with a dizzying number of interlocked symbols, daggers, masks, paintbrushes, amulets, and more, but there's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. You see a vast crowd of pokey paws of doom! Ouch! The cat wants attention and he's clawing at my side. He just wants to sit on my lap. Think of the visuals. No, really, think of them. We couldn't afford to make them. And Vixie was just kind of laughing. Well, this, I don't know, it was Kickstartered and it was like $4 million, I believe it brought in. So. But then again, apparently it's continued to cost Blizzard about $200 million in order to create and maintain World of Warcraft, so we'll see about that. Okay, so, and there's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. You see a vast crowd of people, exact doppelgangers of you, shoving, arguing, and fighting each other. Most are drab imitations of you, but a precious few are vivid, and pull at your attention. Each of them bears an intricate pentagonal tattoo on their head. Pokepaws of Doom. Yes, that's Bucky for you, who constantly wants attention. Especially, I don't think he's feeling too well. I think his kidneys are going, so. A sad kitty story. Alright, so in their eyes, their actions, you see the memories you discovered within the orbs and the choices you made shining like distant stars. Your hand twitches at your side, and though some of the bright doppelgangers ignore you... Ow, Bucky! Jeez! More Pokepaws of Doom! He's like poking at my feet now! Jeez, An even smaller number immediately turn to you, waiting for you to choose them and learn what you might become. A rumble shakes the room, and a slow vibration spreads from the darkness below, rippling towards the ceiling. And now he's flopped on the floor and insists on, like, snatching at my hand with his horrible claws. Okay, so, rippling towards the ceiling. Point at the doppelganger slipping gracefully through the mob. I choose you, Pikachu. The doppelganger darts from the crowd, leans out of the mirror, and gently pokes your nose. I've had enough poking today. When you try to do the same, it definitely leans out of your reach, laughing. It chuckles, waiting for your decision. Yes, that is who I am. I want to consider the other choices. That's who I am. Alright, so the remaining doppelgangers scatter for the edges of the mirror and vanish. Your chosen identity steps forward. Its appearance changes as it steps out of the rippling glass. Its face exudes intelligence and confidence. Shadows of several devices shimmering all around it. Technology of several kinds from a myriad of past ages. You get the feeling you would be comfortable with all of it. The word nano sounds in your mind. Gain descriptor graceful.
Much better.
Your doppelganger continues walking, stepping into you, filling you, making you whole. Your decision rings out into the cavernous room, awakening and unlocking vast mechanisms behind the walls. Suddenly, a grotesque noise rings through your head, through your shared worlds, like a bell if bells could rot. Something is coming. Yay! Restoration. Apparently I've eaten myself and have regained might and health. Funny how that works. The mirror fades, leaving a dark open doorway. You take a deep breath and step through. Alright, so this is apparently the end of maybe the tutorial. Well, not too long of one. Your choices in the memories and the mirror have begun to build your character, but now you have the opportunity to decide on a number of details. First, you can decide to change your type. Type defines the abilities and skills you'll be able to acquire as you advance. Heavy weapons, medium weapons, smashing. Artifacts and ability, one slot locked. Every confers a negative effect. Bonded artifacts equipped first slot do not confer negative effect. on difficult tasks marked with this skill. Inability confers negative 15% penalty. Fine motor control and the ability to manipulate delicate devices. So, apparently nanos are sometimes called mages, wizards, sorcerers, or witches by the people of the ninth world. Whatever they're called, nanos master the mysteries of the past to a degree that they seem to perform miracles using esoteries. Spell-like invocations that combine gestures, command words, and psychic disciplines. They tap into nanospirits, numerous particles that fuse the landscape to alter reality to learn things that they couldn't otherwise know. Concentration increase. Alright. So, training. Limit onslaught, choose a damage type, deal 5 damage of that type and confer a minor additional effect. So yes, very much a yeah, my class in other words. This is very much an adaptation of a pencil and paper game, an old, D&D and whatever. Jacks are intrepid explorers and adventurers. They are jacks of all trades, hence the name. Although the word also harkens back to fables involving a wily, resourceful hero who always seems to be named Jack. Jacks are at their best when they combine weapons, armor, esoteric ciphers, and a clever tongue. They are treasure hunters, grifters, scalds, rogues, and experts in a variety of fields. Well, that's kind of interesting. Flex skill. So choose one exploration, lore, or conversation skill, one training level, and that skill will active. While active until next sleep. 1 of 1 uses per day remaining. Consumes actions. And glaive. Glaives are elite warriors of the ninth world using weapons and armor to fight their enemies. Scouts, guardians, warlords, and soldiers could be glaives. Most glaives either have a high might and use the heaviest armor and weapons available, or high speed and stick with light or ranged weapons and light or medium armor. Alright. And its turn immediately make a basic attack against the first enemy that moves within weapon range. I am almost curious about the nano. Yeah, they talked about adopting D&D. Yeah. Well, and I believe, like I said, this is like a D&D setting-ish. At least it's part of the Planescape, which is part of D&D. So let's give the nano a try. Pools, abilities, weapon skills, descriptor. I don't see anything else I can click on other than changing my class. Next. Stat pools are the resources used to apply effort or active abilities. You can distribute points as you see fit. Glaives tend to favor might and or speed, while nanos favor intellect. Jacks usually benefit from a balanced set of points. Alright, so intellect. Alright, so we want to up our intellect. We're going to be smarter than the smarties. And faster than the fasties? Okay. Well, faster than the fatties for sure, but still. Alright. And it's the usual. You can refill your stats by sleeping, i.e. resting, or using potions or items. Character's physical strength and resilience. Each point of might also increases health by 1. Well, we're gonna be kind of squishy. Hopefully we don't die too much. Abilities unlocked by your type can be active actions such as attacks or spell esoteries, or unique passive effects. Okay. Innervate? Remove all negative fettles. Includes flanked and lasting damage. Heals health for 6 points. 5 uses per day remaining. Quantum Step, teleport 1 ally to a point within range. Consumes movement. Okay. Scan thoughts. Surface thoughts of most people or creatures you speak with appear in conversations. Ooh, that could be interesting. Resourceful. Gain 1 training level in cipher use skill. Allows you to carry additional ciphers. Adaptation. Gain protected armor bonus. I'm kind of a nosy person, so I don't mind. Vixie's like, Nanos? It's AO! It's AO! You are the glass cannon. Alright, so I'm a nosy person, so I'm gonna go ahead and scan people's thoughts. This should be interesting. Oh, 1 point remaining. Ooh. What's here? I think I'm going to also go... I'm going to go scan thoughts and innervate. And thoughts, innervate. Oh. I guess they kind of go above. I could probably use... Mostly because I could use with the heal. Although, having protection to begin with is kind of a good idea, too. I guess I'll go with adaptation. We'll try for innervate maybe next time. I mean, if I'm in the glass cannon, I'm probably going to be bleeding like a sieve anyway. No matter what I do. Alright, abilities allow you to perform special actions in battle, provide benefits you can activate during exploration and in conversations, or give you constant passive benefits. Each tier you gain access to new, more powerful abilities. Each type has different abilities available to them. Okay, and so I can use that almost unlimited. Woohoo! Alright, most skills increase your chance of success on specific kinds of actions and tasks, but some give other passive bonuses. Each skill starts as the 00 or double radio dial novice level and can be increased to trained and specialized, granting greater bonuses at each level. Descriptors often leave some skills at the inability level, meaning they inflict penalties. When upgraded, these return to the novice level. Ah. Okay, so the red is bad. You don't want these red dots in here. I just realized that now. I was like, oh man, I could be a battle mage and go around smashing shit. No. No, you don't get that. I mean, I could probably erase this here if I wanted to. Oh, lore machinery. Choose an exploration skill. So, lore machinery. Per level, on difficult tasks marked with the skill inability, confers negative 15% academic knowledge of machines, mechanics, and physical sciences. Natural. Sciences of natural sciences and physical creatures. Mystical. Knowledge of sciences that are not exactly physical or natural, including strange or trans-dimensional creatures. Ah! That's kind of cool. That kind of fits with the whole mage. the whole mage thing. Exploration skills have benefits any tasks and challenges you may come across, increasing your odds of success while using them. Some exploration skills may also have additional benefits, such as granting increased health or increasing the number of ciphers you can safely carry. Alright, we're almost done here. Only glaives receive training in weapon skills. Weapon skills allow you to use weapons more effectively in battle, increasing your chances to hit your targets. I don't have any weapons? Well, I'm going to slap them to death now, apparently. Or slap them into submission. That's how you do it. Although you choose your descriptor far from among the many doppelgangers in the mirror, you now have the chance to view the specific bonuses and penalties it grants. You can also examine the effects of other descriptors and choose a new one if you wish. Hello, Squeaker. You just really want attention, don't you? Bucky is just an attention hound today. It's gray and dismal outside and he wants to go for a walk naturally. Alright, so... So you are careful and meticulous, always aware of your surroundings. Stealth skill, perception skill. Charming. You are a smooth talker and a charmer. You convince others to see things your way. You are quick-witted and a judge of others. You can fool people. You're not great at retaining trivial knowledge, however. Oh. Grace and beauty. Yay! Speed, intelligent, concentration skill. Sharp memory and can grasp concepts. Ah! Bucky! Pokey paws on the butt! Not a thing! Stop that. Alright, so... Amnesis. What is that? The last cast-off can access the memories of previous consciousness. This skill represents your focus and acumen when attempting to recall those experiences. Okay. Oh, I like the learned. Mystical. The more the merrier, in my opinion. Ooh. So many choices. I think I'm gonna go up to learned. I'm never able to like persuade. I'm never able to persuade anyone anyway. Are you sure you wish to proceed? This is your last chance to change the last cast-off's character type or descriptor. Yes. Let's do this thing! Alright, Codex entry, unlock the labyrinth. Alright, let's see here. The specter. Everything about the spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. Continue. The specter. We weren't sure that would work. We pooled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up. He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the real world, healing from that fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. It shouldn't be too hard. Before I met you, I felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? You said you had to finish I had to finish the process. What does that mean? Who are those other people? You called them reflections. If this place is my mind, I don't remember any of this, any of you. Who are you? How do you know all this? All that you're telling me? I have so many questions, in other words. So many. Goddamn. Which one do I choose? Of course, I'm just gonna go with number one. Because I am a little bit curious. Looks like you don't necessarily shut out the rest of the answers. He closes his eyes. That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large, black, furious. It's your death. It's the sorrow. He closes his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. He said I had to finish the process. What do you mean by that? After you wake up from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside and everything will be fine. What do you mean, attuned to the tides? Tides are like a force, like gravity or magnetism or something, except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It is not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up. What's a resonance chamber? So many more questions! Vixie's rooting for the darkness. Thanks, Vixie. I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and a metal ring set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. Who are these other people? You called them reflections. That's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you knew, people you met in the real world, and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why, it just happens. If this place is my mind, why don't I remember any of this, any of you? It's your mind, a construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self? Wait, you know how people say, in the first place. This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me anyway. You probably know better since it's yours. If you don't remember now, it'll come to you later. Tell me about this place again? I told you as much as I know. It's your mind, and that means you're in control. You just need to figure out how to unlock its secrets. I don't know how, but I think the resonance chamber will do that for us. It'll unite us, make us whole again. Okay. Who are you? He pauses and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering you. I'm you. I'm part of your mind, a splinter. I was waiting here for you. We called you with the memories of the others who are here. I don't know what happened next. How do you know all this? All that you are telling me? He throws up his hands in frustration. I'm just part of you. I look at you, and I know this place was made for you, for us. I remember pieces of knowledge that come to me when you ask your questions, but that's all. So how do I get back to the real world? I'm just gonna sit here and annoy me. Kill everyone! Kill! We. There's a pearl down there. I'll take you back to your body. Just step through it, and the whole tides thing should take care of itself. Hey, we can auto-level. I don't have to worry about any of this anymore. He crosses his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What in the hells is that? It's the dark... It's the sorrow! It's Cthulhu! Man, I could really go for calamari. Gods, it's the sorrow! The sorrow is anchored in those reflections. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them. Destroy its anchors, or else the sorrow will erase us forever. Crisis initiate. Kill the reflections anchoring the sorrow to your mind. Crisis begins when you enter into a dangerous situation. Crises are turn-based encounters where you can fight, sneak, manipulate the environment, or talk your way out of trouble. Hey, we can talk our way out of this, right? Each turn you take one action to attack or activate an ability. You can also make one move. The reflection's near you. Kill it. You'll loosen the sorrow's anchor. Use left click to attack on an enemy or move to a position. Try clicking the highlighted character now. Boop. Effort can be applied to attacks to increase your chance to hit. As with other tasks, each level of effort increases your chances by 20% at the cost of 1 point from a stat pool. Unarmed attacks use speed, but other weapons and abilities may use might or intellect instead. Basic attack. What if I don't want to use a basic attack? What if I use an awesome attack? I'm just gonna slap you silly. Woohoo! The sorrow's turn. What in the... It's escaping. It's going to hide inside your mind. Now run. Get to the next one. Sacrifice your action for the turn to double move instead of attacking. The movement preview line turns purple when over a position that requires a double move.
I'm ready.
No attack action. It's the sorrow's turn. All of a sudden it comes for me. No! Yeah, no wonder why this game is so obscenely popular, right, Vixie? I just want to attack, please. When you apply effort to an attack, it increases the damage you deal. Different weapons and abilities gain different amounts of bonus damage from the effort. Meh. Let's try conjurer power. There we go. This turn you will need to wait until the next turn to deal with another reflection. You can move somewhere to spend your remaining... But if you want to end your turn early, you can click end turn button in the lower left. On turn. Sorrow's turn. All of a sudden it comes and kills me. Do we know? Is it... It's infecting. Fettles are temporary conditions or status effects that can improve or reduce a character's stats. The sorrow has just placed a fettle on the remaining reflection. You can't remove this fettle, but you may find a way to overcome it. Castoff's turn. have no weapon bonus. Oh, here we go. Let's just use everything. Oh shit. The armor stat reduces physical damage. The sorrow placed on the character has boosted its armor by 10, meaning it will absorb 10 points of damage from each attack. This reflection's armor is now too high for you to overcome your unarmed attack. It's because the reflection is protected somehow. You need to find a way to hit it even harder. Grab that piece of mirror glass. It might have enough residual energy to kill the reflection. Pick up loot, highlight the object, then click take all or double click the individual item you want.
I'm ready.
Take all. To activate an item, left click on the item's icon in the bar above your portrait, then click on the character you want to target. There you go. Yay! It magically disappeared. I didn't have to do anything. Vixie's like, I feel like the same people who made this made Fallout 2. Alright, so you pried it loose. That thing is a cancer, an infection. It's unstoppable, but you stopped it. I stopped the unstoppable. And the cat is going crazy. Come on. It's shooting between my legs and just running around all crazy like. He holds his head in his hands. I can't believe it found us. In here. He looks at you, terror in his eyes. That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it. But that's why the chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late. The portal to your body is that shimmering dome over there. Go now! Yay!
I'm going.
Dome da dome dome dome. Just talk it out. That'll be fine. Hey, look, stuff.
Where did she fall from? Her body's smashed to talk. It's a wonder she's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not her origin point. But look, she's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Fall down. Fall down and go boom. What was that? What did you do, Callisteg? His tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscope of tattoos writhing across his forearms. He wears a long, dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? She emitted an internal and physiological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Elegant. Her voice rolls and hisses as you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. She's a very shiny lady. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callisteg. His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him. You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His face is hard and set. Scan thought, she's the changing god, Calliste. It's deliberately blinding herself, but why? So that's what he's thinking. I can see your thoughts. I'm no ordinary mortal, what do you mean? Who are you? Where am I? How did I get here? Was I dead? Who are you? You know who I am, but who are you? If you don't remember who I am, you're more self-centered than I ever imagined. Silver Tide raised as a tiny mount. You know, she's not the changing god, Elegern. Scan thoughts. Elegern's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? It's her face. I've never seen any other people build themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what that means to me. What this means to me. Continue. It's a he said, she said thing, isn't it? You're familiar with the word changing Elegern. Changing Elegern. It implies inconsistency. Jesus, the cat is hyper. Thus the changing god may well have changed. That changing things change over change? Several versions of her shrug, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you are newly born. Her most solid curtsies while her most solid self curtsies while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Calliste. This is Elegern. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you. Body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. Who is the changing god? Are there other cast-offs? Well, yeah, obviously. So, you say I was born with a changing god, but why am I not dead? Some kind of dreamlike labyrinth, glowing specter. Is there anything that can? Yeah. An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem. I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. Okay, we get it. I'm a glass cannon. What is dead can never die. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours, exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the Sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Calliste is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks like the Spectre had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered. The sarcophagus is cracked and one of the arm is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Oh my god, it is Fallout 2! It's Fallout! We have to find stuff to repair other stuff. or flesh-eating viruses, one presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to, hey, it's Mad Max, the video game. I think she gets the point, Calistag. I saw a vision of myself in another time and place just now. You didn't see it too, did you? I'm gonna take it that they didn't. Do either of you know anything about the Sorrow? Where are we? What is this place? Who is this changing god? What are their cast-offs? What do you guys know about the Sorrow? I've had my share of sorrows, but never the Sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line. I know nothing about it. Do either of you know how to fix the crystal chamber? Hey, yes! Go off and do stuff. Matt is like, welcome to the never-ending quest to repair effing everything. Algern chuckles. Then firm and certain, he says. Not likely, though it might not be impossible. You need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of Changing God will hold the answer. I'm sure they're very nice people too, right? They're not going to, try to kill me or anything. Her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn? Where's your judgment, Algern? I would take her to the Order of Truth. Which are also very nice people, I'm assuming, who would never try to harm me or kill me in any way possible. Oh, I got a notification from Discord. Lots of notifications, in fact. Okie dokie. Alright, so, Order of Truth, are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. Ah, so they are nice people who would never hurt anyone. I have so many other questions. Alright, so what is the Order of Truth to begin with? Knowledge seekers, the learned who tried to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Algern here was once one of them. Frauds, quacksalvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the Changing God secrets. What is the cult of the Changing God, then? Vixie's like, I've got a head to bang against the wall for a bit. Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. She laughs, but soldiers on. But he soldiers on. They're worshippers of you or your sire, the Changing God. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. I don't know if I should just soldier on with the rest of this myself. I do have so many questions, although I do kind of want to get the story underway. Alright, well, let's just go to the cult of the Changing God. A wise choice. Your worshippers aren't likely to cut you apart, and they're sometimes fools, but they collect knowledge and data. They'll tell you more than you care to know about whoever you are. They could give you a good counsel. She sniffs and gives Algern an acid glare. Good counsel? The best counsel is to come with me. I'll accompany the two of you when you change your mind. You'll need an introduction to the Order of Truth. Fine, we'll both go, but don't be surprised when Calistag leaves you broken in a ditch with your purse empty, while she laughs it off as a good experiment. Suspicious as always, Algern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her face. Scan thoughts. I shudder to think what Algern might do to the child. Well, I'm so glad I have scanned thoughts. I picked that. So now I know whether someone's, being a little duplicitous in their actions. Hopefully, anyway. Alright. What do you want to go with me? What's in it for you? I don't want to ask her that. I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I want to see you safely out of the reef. Who knows what secrets this child could help me find if I can help her live long enough. Sweet. So they do have my best interests in mind, at least for now. Alright, let's go. You've gained your first companions. They will follow the last cast-off and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their past and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Companions have their own motivations and personalities, and depending on the choices you make, they may not follow you forever. You will find more companions who can join you as you travel through the ninth world. Takes this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You may find items, equipment, and more to assist you when you are ready. Using the stairs to the northeast. Okay. Well, let's see here. Broken fragments of the dome's ceiling are scattered on the floor. They appear to be made of transparent synth. Yeah.
Yes.
Hover my mouse over everything. Ooh. Sweet. Loot. Shins are usually metal but made of glass, plastic, or substances that have no name. Some are jagged bits of interesting material or small coin-like objects such as highly decorative buttons from a machine, while others are properly minted and stamped with writing and images. So basically junk? Alright. Anaphylactic rush. Encephalic rush, I should say. Heals 3 points of intellect. Consumes movement. We got an item. Oh, they're not junk. They're currency. They're like bottle caps, basically. Only they're shin, I guess. I hit my shin. Alright. A fleet of fleetfoot moss usable. Immediate ally. Let's see this. This moss-covered pebble looks almost ordinary, and if it were lying on the ground, it would be difficult to spot. But the moss shifts in unexpected waves, and then the pebble vibrates as it does. If held against the skin, the moss latches on, and it's absorbed, providing powerful resuscitating energies. These pebbles are found by diving into the waters around Sagas Cliffs, perhaps grown by an unknown interaction with the surrounding Numenera. Huh. Alright, well, let's just take all of this.
Yes, now.
A slate black unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes to life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and here and there at its emerald peak, ... The image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within it says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Who are you? What was that Archie showed me? What commands do you recognize? Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but is choosing not to answer. Command me. What commands do you recognize? The three lights throb irritably, heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races through your mind, far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. What was that Archie showed me? Command is not understood. Kick the device as hard as you can. Well, we can, involve a bit of violence. If anything, the list pours through your mind even faster than the last time. Cool, man, me. The intelligence drawls. I really want to kick this thing now. Indignant hum rises from the intelligence's engines as you examine the ancient casing. Lore machinery, a much newer mechanism on the device's side appears to be giving this intelligence its vocabulary and forcing it to speak to you. The device's original creator may not have meant for it to communicate at all. If you select a companion's portrait in the effort window, they can assist the last cast off with some challenges. Your companion's stat pools are used instead of your own, and they may have different skills, abilities, and statistics that make the challenge easier. Companions cannot assist in a crisis and can only use their stats during their turn. Let's go with this dude. Sweet. Continue. Thank you, sir, for kicking the crap out of the machine and making it work. We got a shard, too, apparently. The intelligence's lights flutter in alarm just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within goes crunch. Cell gating damaged, it gasps, the trio of lights focusing on you with blinding intensity. All prisoners lost, shuddering legume vo. A hatch springs open near the dent left by your foot, and the lights flicker off as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoking interior. View shard. Or view shard. A shard of glass displays an image of three strangely garbled children in a field. The sequence of them playing in a simple ball game repeats itself. After repeated viewings, you notice a small child standing further away in the field. The fourth child is looking directly at you, her large eyes brim with fear. So we've managed to kidnap computer people. Exit, please. There we go. Continue. You're planning on breaking every machine in here? Maybe.
Of course.
I'm willing to go that far, and I will kill as many computer people as possible. I've seen Doctor Who. I know how this works. Tiny glowing motes float through the interior of this tower. Each one is surrounded by much smaller motes, like thousands of worlds circling their suns.
Yes, child.
Okay.
I'm going.
Is there anything else I can interact with? Crackle. Snap, crackle, pop. Well, that's what you get.
Ready.
So the tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear.
Yes, now.
Anything else I can do or see? We
Alright.
should probably look at this here. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It is hard to believe that you are still alive. Four mechanical arms hang over the center of the device above the cracked, semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The fifth arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Examine the shards on the ground, step away from the device. So let's look at the sarcophagus. Padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body despite the damage. You don't see any way To open it and get inside, you glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above. It seems likely that using the chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Examine the suspended arms. Cables run from the machines along the domes to the walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the bases of the arms. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes. Examine the shards on the ground. Ooh, lore machinery. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome of the... Alright, so let's try... Lore machinery. You need to inspect a broken section and take note of the final field projectors inside. They're omnidirectional. Or you kneel. Okay. Alright, I think I've inspected this long enough. I don't know if there's anything else in here for me. I keep dragging my little cursor around. A long time ago when I was like designing websites and all that, I had a professor that absolutely hated games and such and websites and such where you had to drag your cursor around in order to understand what was going on, in order to highlight certain stuff and events. He thought it was just like it made the player or the user frustrated. And that was basically the gist of one of my websites, was that I had hidden just about everything. And you had to drag your cursor across the screen in order to find like menus and stuff like that. And he was like pissed that I did that. He was like, "Why would you do this? This is like a bad joke or something." Hey, look, little tingly crystal things. They're just bopping around there. We're not in a chamber.
This is the reef of fallen worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Why are you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growls. Don't be paranoid, but when she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you knowingly. What makes the reef so dangerous? The Numenera of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. I hate to think what Castelling might do to her if I weren't here. Or a Numenera. You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you. Everything left over from the prior world. Sagas Cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilizations. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding drit from prior worlds mixed with it. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds. Okay. But mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of Numenera are just oddities, fancy trinkets with little real use, but sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer. Though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times, he frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Of course, I've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. Like, you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows enough to build you the rest of it? Better to use it as a weapon or a power source. He scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew 1/10 of the secrets of the ancients, but most days it's a challenge just to survive. They look almost alive, your tattoos. These, they're nothing. Call them a consolation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names. That's because they'd had occasion to run afoul of these little snakes. He looks away. This line of questioning is clearly an. My gift and curse. They remind me of it every day. Alright. So there's clearly a lot more to go with this. And we're pretty far along with everything. So I'm going to probably put an end to it here after we get done. I'll just ask him about his story here quick. Ask me again when we get out here. I don't trust this damn reef any more than the company we keep. What do you think we should do next? You want to fix the crystal chamber back there? Yeah, first step is getting out of this reef. Alright, so yeah, next off we're gonna have to get through the reef here. Let's keep going, alright? So yeah, we still have a bit of exploration to do. And we just now got out of the tutorial. And that's pretty cool. You can actually see her flickering over here. I didn't notice that inside the chamber. It's only started doing that now. So, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Let's see if I can actually zoom in. No, that's zoom out. Zoom in. Sweet. Awesome. We can see a little bit closer. Too bad we can't, like, turn around or anything like in Path of Exile. Yeah, so much talking. I'm not sure if this is... Whoa! Like Vixie said, let's not drag everything off to the side. But yeah, this is kind of a game. I'm not sure if I'd stream this, but it could be interesting just to play it. I don't mind a lot of talking or dialogue in the games as long as it's, you know, there is some combat, I guess. Otherwise, it's just basically a visual novel, but... And, you know, as long as the story is interesting and the characters are interesting. So far, I kind of like it, but I find it really confusing. I'm not used to playing old RPGs like this. Matt says a lot of this reminds me of how they did Planescape, just less talking. She was flickering in there as well. Oh, okay, so I guess I just didn't notice her flickering in there. I hadn't zoomed in or anything like that. So yeah, I'll probably play it a little bit more, maybe stream it again once or twice just to see if we can get anywhere interesting. But yeah, thanks for joining me for the live stream for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow on an Unearthly podcast where we'll be talking about the Time Monster. It's one of the master adventures that we'll be talking about with the Third Doctor, another 6-parter. So I have to start watching that. And yeah.
I have my sisters to keep me occupied.
Alright, so I think that's it for now. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe to Patreon. You can donate through Streamlabs. Or just kind of follow and keep watching me on Twitch and on YouTube here. Alright, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good night.